Welcome back to Two Homers and a Realist. The Sooners win big, 24-13 over Michigan. This composition of the season has changed. Everything is in front of us. This is awesome. I'm Steve.
I'm Connor.
Lucas.
Jay.
Guys, all right. So I said going into the start of the season, we would know how this team was going to be based on this game. Do you disagree with that assessment? Because I'm going to tell you, we know this team is good. Does anyone disagree that that's what we know at this point?
I don't disagree at all. I think it's a massive performance. Massive performance. And it was not even our best performance in what I'd say.
C game. I think we brought a C game.
C game,
Yeah.
and we dominated.
And we dominated. And I think that we're watching some highlights here. It's defensively pretty unstoppable.
Very
my opinion.
spectacular.
Great defense. The best defense, if you'd say. It's hard to want more. It's hard to want more.
I think that's true on defense. Offense, we're going to have a lot to talk about. But I'll tell you what, one thing that I would like to compare that defense to is Tobacco Exchange. So Tobacco Exchange never let you down. And sure enough, our defense did not let us down today. Tobacco Exchange, 3 great locations, is the title sponsor of our podcast. Very happy to have their sponsorship. Locations in Moore, Edmond, Oklahoma City, the best staff, the best selection, the best prices. What are we smoking tonight, Lucas?
We've got a McAuliffe cigars. I think it's a San Andreas wrapper, if I recall correctly, when Joey told me. It's pretty tasty, honestly.
It really is. It's very
Good cigar.
got a great.
It's really light, but it's
Just
still
it's,
got
it's
flavor.
light but flavorful.
Yeah.
Yes, I was going to
That's
say
usually
that.
rare. When
Yeah.
you get a wrapper that's that light, it usually doesn't. It usually kind of disappoints because you want some more flavor. But this
It's got a decent draw.
pretty good.
It's not overpowering, but yeah, it's a great compliment to wonderful, wonderful football. So Jay, you were watching the game at home.
Yes, sir.
Tell me what you saw. Was it as awesome as what we saw in the stands?
It was pretty great. I think offensively, I called it in the pod previously on Wednesday, the pregame pod.
17 carries.
That Mateer would be 17 for 86. I think he finished 19 for 74.
Excellent.
2 of those were
prediction.
sacks, though.
Yeah.
So he had 17.
And I don't know what the
Excellent
sack
prediction.
yards were. And he was the leading rusher as predicted. Now, I thought Ott would do more.
We all
I was
did.
surprised at that.
We'll be talking about that.
Other than that, the offensive line, 4 different starters from game 1. I thought they performed really well.
I did too. I mean, considering the fact that they're going up against a very stout defensive line who was throwing a lot of stuff at them that they didn't see. You have got a true freshman in Michael Fususi starting.
Who I don't recall. I mean, we're gonna have to look back at the tape, but I don't remember him messing up.
We saw
Hardly
Noah
any.
saw one big bust. It was for Susie and Howland, I think, right?
I don't remember who the second one
It
was.
seems like no, because Howland replaced Susie. There was one where he completely whiffed on a rush end, and
Okay.
then was it maybe the center? Somebody, there was 2 at the same time because he was like, "Oh, we just completely whipped on
But
it."
still,
But that's the only one that I remember.
when you
seeing.
bring in a true freshman to start a game,
Oh my God.
Yeah.
and it's the Michigan game,
I mean, they won
that
the national
everything's
championship
on
year
the
before
line.
last.
Yeah, and to tell you the truth, I would guess, and from what I saw tonight, they're
I
probably
didn't think he
on
would
pace to
start.
be better than where they were last year.
Personally, I didn't think he would start
I
a
didn't
true
either.
freshman
I didn't even.
against Michigan.
The confidence
Completely
they've got in this guy, it's awesome. It's just awesome. That was a big positive for sure. Well, Lucas, you're sitting there in the end zone. Were you able to see the game?
Yep.
Okay. What did you see?
The only thing I didn't see is when we ran out of bounds on the 14, because it looked from my vantage point that they pushed him out at the 5, which was the original call.
I don't think
on
it was really
TV.
okay.
Yeah, they couldn't overturn. There's no way.
And they showed it 2 different angles on the replay on the TV. I mean, on the jumbotron, and I never saw green in between the cleat and the white sideline.
I think
but
that
I didn't see his foot over the white.
Right.
Like it was.
No,
It looked like he.
it was
perfectly
conclusive.
tipped
Yeah, it was not.
It was
conclusive.
not
Yeah.
conclusive.
No,
But what
I'm
to something to
surprised.
overturn? Well, that's a good
I
introduction.
had 5
to the
different
fact that
texts about that.
we not to complain about the officiating, but to say that I think the officiating was not very good tonight. A
For sure
number
the
of
second
calls, the
quarter,
50-50 calls
there
were
was-
really going against us. Missed holding call right before that. We get a defensive holding call that is just absolutely mythical.
Phantom. It's
It was
phantom.
totally phantom. Just a lot of things that weren't
They
going
hit out
in
of
our
bounds on
favor.
our sideline, didn't
Yeah.
get called.
Well, in the late tackle hit and then the dropped hip, which is itself a penalty against Canick, the guy tackling Canick.
Yeah.
That's pretty significant. The reason that's a rule is because of injury.
There was also a dropped pass, I think it was Satania on which would have been a first down.
Right.
The ball clearly hit the ground, bounced, and then he got hit in
Yes,
the ribs and knocked
yeah,
down.
Exactly.
The guy
And-
watched
and-
the ball hit the ground
Yeah.
because he missed it, and
And
then
then
he let it
contacted
in.
it.
Yeah, and then the announcers even went to the official and on the TV official or whatever
Mm.
and said, yeah, that would have, like, if they'd have thrown a flag, that definitely would have been held up because that
No.
was, he had plenty of time to stop,
Defenseless.
not hit him. He knew the ball wasn't
Hmm.
caught. It was,
But even with some shoddy officiating here and there, we still got the job done.
We totally got the job done. Big win. Totally a big win. We got it done with giving them extra
Two
possessions,
turnovers
two
to
turnovers.
none.
A lot of mistakes on special teams, not just the fumble on the punt,
Yeah.
but also
Kickoff.
a kickoff right thereafter.
I think the biggest play, I mean, I guess the muffed punt's probably bigger, but the running or roughing the kicker on the punt,
Yes.
that we could have basically put the game away at
Yep.
that point.
Yep.
If we'd have got that ball to 50 and gone in and scored, they'd have been completely out of this football.
Well, like I said, I tweeted about that, about it being ball don't lie, because we had the running into the kicker they called roughing the kicker, but I think it was running into.
Right.
And then about 2 or 3 plays later was the holding on us on the defensive line. And then they ended up going down and missing the field goal.
Right.
So at least they burned clock and missed the field goals.
Right.
So all in all, that helped us. I mean,
Yeah,
it would have been beneficial.
It'd
It'd have been beneficial if they punted to us and we went and scored.
Sure.
Because that would have put the game away at that
Right,
point,
obviously.
instead of having to wait until middle of the fourth quarter when we kicked the extra point. Well, I guess it was early fourth quarter, we kicked the extra point.
Mhm.
Because we ran the clock so long to finish the game, but it would have felt better.
You mean kick a field goal?
Yeah, honestly.
Extra point.
Oh, yeah.
It was
three
the
of them.
distance of an extra.
Yeah,
Yeah, right.
which he missed a short run before that, but
It wasn't that short.
I think
but
it was
short.
42.
was it 42?
Yeah.
He still should
And
have
it
missed
was-
those, so that's reasonable.
Yeah, it was
What was the distance of their
slightly
field goal
missed.
miss?
I'm not sure.
Like,
30
Isn't that 30?
something,
Sure.
right? About
they
30.
gave us the ball on the 20, so that's where it was held, right?
Yeah,
So
so
that's,
it'd be
they missed
30.
a 30-yarder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they had a couple
All-
of flubs,
all-
obviously.
American
We
All-
had more flubs. We had also, so let's get into some of the talk about the
We were
offense.
minus 2 in turnovers.
-2 in
right.
turnovers. We are,
We're 0-4 for the season.
how about that?
0 turnovers for us, and we've given up 4.
And so
And we're 2-0.
I've got to expect that that's going to turn around for us, which will start
Hope
helping.
so.
But if you look at Mateer had a number of really good plays tonight and a number of not so good plays. I think one criticism could be that he rifles the ball in a lot and doesn't provide a lot of touch in positions where touch is required or desired. And then in other instances, he threw a high ball that was picked. He threw another ball that was underthrown and hit a guy in the helmet that would have, if not a touchdown, it would have been a big gain. He missed another guy down the sidelines, and I don't know if it's Lewis and Satania.
That would have been a touch. The one
Yeah.
on the east sideline would have been a touch.
Yeah,
Right.
going
The left
south.
sideline,
east, yeah.
he would probably caught it and ran out of bounds or got tackled for maybe a 35.
And I'm not
gain.
criticizing. I think
those
Mateer
are
played a
tough throws.
great game.
Yeah.
It's just he's not been perfect, and yet he's effective and he's getting it done. His running is really good. Very satisfied with that.
Decision making.
Decision making's excellent. Escapability is awesome.
The only
Being
thing-
able to find the right guy at the right moment. His passes across the middle, which we have desperately wanted now for multiple seasons.
Yep.
Dylan Gabriel could not hit those passes reliably.
And Arnold
He's
refused to
doing
even
it,
try.
and Arnold
Yeah,
wouldn't even release the football.
One interesting thing from schematically that we did all night long, and I'm not sure if it's just we trust the Mateer to make a quick enough decision or to be elusive enough, but they brought pressure from the right side often. And the tackle on that side, which was Simmons, 100% was just to let that guy go.
Right.
And that guy came free. And one of the times he came free, Mateer made that great play where he broke the tackle, ran out, and completed a pass. And another time he was sacked on it. But there were several other times that we were just letting that guy go. And I'm guessing you're just hoping he's going to find it fast enough or.
Well, that's obviously relying on your quarterback a lot.
Yeah.
Because you're letting a guy run free at your
quarterback. No, I guess if you're going to let a guy run free and you're right-handed quarterback, that's the side you want.
Oh, sure.
You want him to see that, right? So if we're shifting our line left so that we're blocking this side and let the free runner come.
And he just moves around it.
But it's a little it happened a little too often.
I agree. I agree. Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see moving forward.
So he did a lot of his sidearm stuff. A couple times it didn't work so well. A couple times he got one batted down really badly. And a couple others were kind of short-armed. But otherwise, he was able to deliver the ball effectively across the field.
I mean, he's no Arch Manning.
Percentage? 67%? What was it? What'd you say?
I say he's no Arch Manning.
No, he's not. No. I mean, he can't skip a ball like a kid like at the lake skipping a rock. Yeah. But he definitely can find receivers that are open and actually hit them with the football.
Yeah, I mean, he went 21 of 34 today for 270. So
that against a defense like Michigan's and a game like this,
7.9 per completion.
Do they have a QB rating on there?
79.8.
No, 79.8. Pretty good. Easily could be better with this. A couple of things changing.
And it's not just the Michigan talent that he went against. Their defensive coordinator is a Super Bowl winning defensive coordinator.
Yeah.
And you know that they studied film all off season
and
threw everything that they could think of to throw at Mateer.
Right.
And he handled it pretty well, as did Arbuckle.
Yeah.
So Arbuckle went toe to toe with an elite NFL defensive coordinator, which bodes well.
That's a great point.
For the remaining of the season.
That's a very good point. And I mean, we'll face some pretty stout defenses and some pretty stout defensive coordinators, but this may be as good as anyone that we face, to be honest. Now,
thematically, it could be.
Yeah, and
100%.
We'll be better when we face those other teams. We don't have the luxury of that right now. We are still understanding what we can do and getting into a rhythm with stuff. So that is saying a lot for sure. I was very impressed. I think you have to be very impressed. Concerns, I'm concerned still a little bit about the run game. Not as much as I think some others are because
running back
running game.
Well, props to Barnes today.
Yeah, Barnes did pretty well.
He had a couple normal Barnes runs where he ran in the back of somebody, but the catch that he made to get the first down was huge.
Oh,
and then
for sure.
He actually looked like he was running tough and kind of moving the pile on a couple plays.
Agreed.
To kind of get, the extra yards that you need to get the first down or at least get it to like a 3rd and 1 type of thing.
Right.
And I mean, we've been waiting for him to turn out for the last couple of years and have been disappointed. And today, I mean, I don't think he looked amazing, but he was definitely serviceable today, whereas past he hasn't been.
It's fair. The questions I would have, though, are can we pick up the yardage we need to pick up without relying on Mateer?
Yeah.
And that I don't want to see him take a lot of hits. Connor, you put it real well, saying he needs to be a lot more like a Baker Mayfield or a Kyler Murray where he's sliding, a Jalen Hurts where he's doing runs that are designed, but he's not designing himself to get into bang situations. So we certainly need to minimize those impacts.
He took a couple good shots late, but for the most part, he kind of takes the hit pretty well.
No, he does seem to.
He'll turn his shoulders the right direction to kind of take the hit.
Yeah.
And not.
There was a couple though that he definitely got clocked pretty good.
Where was Jaden Ott today?
That was the question I have. What's going on?
Disappointed in him not. I don't expect him to break, 2 80-yard runs or something.
Right.
Even though we were told and watching his film from 2 years ago with Cal, he was a game breaker and you paid him the money to be that type of guy.
Is that it?
And he's coming back from injury, but I was expecting, 8 carries for 65 yards, 80 yards.
I can't say he's not it yet.
Yeah, not yet.
But
Not yet.
he's definitely rusty.
They really
Let's
didn't
just
really
say
give him any space today to see if he can be the juke guy or the breakaway guy, because Michigan had a good defensive line.
I like,
And the
he comes out of the
linebackers
backfield
play
real
well.
nicely. He comes out, he rolls into a receiver position. He is definitely quick. He definitely can do that. Just watching him run, you see that there is a lot of athleticism there, but you didn't see him when he got the football. You didn't see it in open space. We haven't seen it yet. And that's a concern. So who is running back one?
Tory Blaylock.
Blaylock.
I'd be Blaylock.
I think Blaylock is a strong candidate for it. I like the way he runs. He seems to get to the second level
Yeah.
almost every time he has the ball.
How many yards did he have today?
Not a lot.
Stat guy.
9 for 24. He averaged actually. Well, he averaged 2.7. Barnes had 4 point, and Mateer had 3.9.
Well,
What was Barnes' stats?
6 for 24.
I'd take 4 yards a carry from running back. He carried the ball 3 times. It's first down,
yeah. Yeah, I mean, that would be fantastic.
which was
to
what
get that.
Michigan was trying to do.
Yeah, and
What do you
at
think about
times they
What do you think
did.
about Michigan's game plan, especially in the first half? It was like
Very
run
controlled.
all the time and then pass when you had to.
Yeah.
I didn't know if that was us making him one-dimensional or if that was purely their game plan. I couldn't tell.
Well, talking
between
to the
two.
Michigan fan sitting next to me, it was like 2nd and 9. He's like, "We're gonna run it here,"
Mhm.
and they run it and they get 4 yards against third.
I mean, that's kind of what they do.
And he's like, "Yeah," he's like, "For the last 100 years, we've been running this."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Well, it's worked pretty well. I mean, you're a blue blood. You've won national championships. That philosophy works in the Big Ten, but when you get outside of it, it's hit and miss. You need the speed of linebackers in other leagues as
Right.
opposed to Big Ten pose a challenge of coming around the edge to get your running back in the backfield if the D line's holding up at all." And there were multiple. I mean, we had a bunch of tackles for losses today. I feel
Yes, we did.
like there were times when I was irritated by them 4 yards in a cloud of dust that we were getting the push at the beginning, but then they would
Fall forward.
They would fall forward and get 4 yards. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, that should have been 2 yards.
And you'll lose a
And there
football
was-
game.
Yeah, I think it was
There's
8.
a couple
I think we had
those.
8 tackles for loss,
And then
and a couple missed.
That's excellent.
it felt like, that felt like we had a bunch, which I would call 8 a bunch.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
I mean,
Getting this game.
We only
yes.
sacked him once or twice.
I only remember one,
Yeah, I only remember one.
and it was a combo.
Well, they may count some of it like, well, he didn't.
It was.
run
It was.
He had
I,
1 sack and 8 tackles.
I think it was Osamigo and Jaden Jackson. Same
Converging
time.
on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
David
And
Stone had a good game today.
oh yeah,
David
mean,
Stone.
he was very
really-
disruptive.
I saw
Very
PJ out
disruptive,
there.
very-
PJ still needs like
I don't even-
30
I
pounds.
don't even remember seeing PJ out there.
I saw him out there. I
I've
feel
there a
like
few times.
he just needs more weight.
He's like 270. He just doesn't. He's just so long and
Yeah,
just
it
doesn't.
just doesn't look
pull
like
it
it.
up.
But he doesn't play like it either.
No.
I mean, I know he's an end and he's supposed to, get to the quarterback, which they didn't throw the ball enough that he would get to do that. But you want to see those ones where they're handing it off to the left and they come around the right and make the tackle from behind because you're stretching
Right.
them out.
Right.
And we did that a couple times, but I don't remember PJ being one of them.
Well, Bowen would be one that we'd have to highlight as somebody that had, or talk about that had problems. So
His problems were more in. I mean, it was really just one. Other than that, he made several plays and was in
noticed
position
that
for
too.
several.
I noticed that too. He's like hit or miss, hot and cold. So early on there was a play where he's obviously supposed to pick up. I think it's a running back, or it might have been a receiver that was lined up in a slot. And we have 2 guys converging on Underwood, who played a really good game. I think for a true freshman, he played really good.
Yeah, it's gonna be more difficult next year at Michigan.
Yeah, it will be. So we come and converge on him, and it's obvious that Bowen is supposed to pick up the guy coming out wide, kind of on a wheel route type of situation, and he's late to get there. It's an easy pickup, and then on the 75-yard run, it's him all the way, just filling that gap. He over scrapes. He's going left, and he just leaves that lane wide open, and then it's just downhill from there. But then I saw him later. I guess it was after the 75-yard run, I think. It was maybe a play or two later. He is right there disrupting, right in the middle of everything. So when he's used as an attacker on the quarterback, it looks really good.
Yeah, I think he's very good. Yeah, agreed. Coming downhill.
Hmm.
He seems to be pretty comfortable doing that.
So that might be the thing you've got to figure out how to work him in to that direction so that he's always utilized for that asset because I don't think he can get the other job done.
And before we get too far off topic, my son Cooper brought up, does Blaylock remind you of like Eric Gray a little bit?
Better though.
I think better. He's a little more
We haven't seen enough. to say he's
two-step
better.
explosive.
Gray was not great though.
I mean,
Well,
He was pretty good though.
he was
Yeah,
good the
I
last year.
guess there's a good
He was
point
good.
there as I think about it. I hadn't thought about that. Like, so he's got those few steps to get, and I talk about him getting to the second level, and that was an Eric Gray move. That he's always in the defensive backfield, and so I get that. I definitely get that. I like that, Coop. Very good point. Now, hopefully, he can keep that up. I mean, it's early,
And we
A lot of
played
things are early.
another observation was again from Coop, we were watching the way we aligned defensively because he was like, who's the third corner? And I was like, well, we're playing a lot of three safety instead of a third corner.
Hmm.
And so that's, against a Michigan who doesn't have prolific wide receivers,
Right.
we took the gamble of doing that.
Hmm.
But later in the season, we're going to play teams that you can't play three. You can't have a safety covering a slot guy all the time.
No.
Like that's just not going to work.
Right.
So hopefully Gentry isn't banged up. Too bad.
Yeah. Do we know anything?
No, I haven't seen anything.
I mean, it tracks. Like Connor said during the game, I said Gentry's hurt. He goes, it tracks.
but I mean, Eli's got
Second
to,
game, here we go.
Eli's got to get back.
Hmm.
Gildery held his own.
Oh,
That
absolutely.
dude, and he had the attitude.
Oh yeah.
He had the, Zach Sanchez type
Oh, yeah.
where he would get up, he would cover his dude, the pass would come his way, he would deflect it or at least be in the way where the play doesn't get made,
Right.
and he's getting in the guy's face.
Yeah, he's
or
got
he's
that
on the
swag,
sideline talking
for
crap.
sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, I like seeing that.
I do too.
I don't want to get penalties because of it,
No, obviously not. Yeah.
but I appreciate a little.
Speaking of penalties, we complained about the officiating a little bit early on, but putting that aside, I think that we play a pretty clean football game. I mean, you saw was it just one motion penalty the whole game that backed us up to be 1st and 13 on the 3-yard line, and then no other offensive line snafus.
I don't think
No holding.
Nope.
You don't see even anything borderline that's roughing or targeting
except on special teams.
just except on some special team stuff. Yeah. So it's very impressive, and I'm very satisfied with that. Very disciplined.
Yeah, Marvin Jones blew through the line on one play and had a 6-yard tackle for loss, but he did get the face mask.
Oh yeah.
It was one of those deals
And
where
what sucks
the
is
running back was
two other
short, he
guys.
dipped down, and his hand wasn't high.
It was a total. I don't know. It's the most excusable face mask
Yeah.
that you can have.
And we had two other guys coming from the right that were going to stuff him. He wasn't going anywhere.
It was another
we did
example of
have,
us bailing them out of a situation.
What did we get towards the end? I just
You got better off the face mask too.
Their face mask
Their face mask.
Yeah.
their face mask.
on the
Yeah.
tier.
Well, you say
Well,
that.
bailed out.
Not bailed out, but
Yeah.
like it was a
It was a
It
good
was a-
game.
5 flags. Like
Yeah, it was at a
Throw it,
perfect
yeah.
moment to get the face mask.
Yeah.
exactly.
He had gotten a good game, but it wasn't a first down. He did fumble too, I think, after it was over. But
No, somebody lined up offside. We had somebody in the neutral zone lined up offsides on their last drive.
well, yeah, that's weird. I don't that
I
was
mean, I saw
I-
whoever the ref was talking to. I can't remember if it was our Mason Thomas, but he was
They
talking.
called him for it though.
He was talking to the ref on the side. He's like, me? And the ref's like, yeah, whatever. So it's probably one of those things where he had this much of his helmet over
Yeah.
the line, when he was lined up, and then they snapped the ball and they just.
so
they-
debatable.
that's a flag.
Yeah.
If your head's
Oh,
against the ball,
if
a
it's
flag.
true,
Yeah.
but it wasn't blatant. It
Yeah.
wasn't stupid.
That I can't see that from the end zone because
So,
they're
no, you can't.
other direction.
That's one of many things. So we did have 2 free plays. and we executed well on both of them.
And great job on the hard count.
Yeah, yes, yeah.
Was it only 2? I thought it was 3. Did
I
we only
think
end
it
up-
was just 2. One of them was we weren't going to snap the ball, but we snapped it. I think we weren't going to snap the ball. We snap it because it's an infraction,
Yeah.
and we get the free play out of it, which was
Which
excellent. Play.
Which Everett didn't do last week,
Yeah.
and
A couple
Michaela
times.
did.
Yep.
Yeah, it was
That's
one.
on the center.
So
To
we
use your
started
periphery.
today with 4 different offensive linemen that are starting last week.
Yes.
Right? Because
Yep.
you had Fasusi,
Waywee was the only one.
Fasusi, Ozeta, Simmons, and Michaelin.
Yeah,
So 4 out of 5 guys that didn't start last week.
And those
and
are the
2 of them
5.
didn't play.
Those are the 5
Simmons
that
didn't
ran
play.
through most of fall camp as the one.
Yeah. So Simmons and Fasusi didn't play at all last week. Did Ozeta play last week?
No.
He didn't play at all
Nope.
either. I thought he was maybe the second half. So 3 of the 4 people that played that started today didn't play last week.
Correct.
wow.
I mean, props to Beadenbow for getting that line together today.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, like I said, the first quarter, it was more of like a feeling out process.
Right.
Other than the drive we went and scored, which was pass.
right,
But then, well, I guess the Burks was an end around, right?
right. Yeah,
So
we run the end around
yeah.
real well.
So that was awesome to see. But it felt like in the second quarter, those guys started to gel and we were able to pick up a 4-yard run, 6-yard run, kind of,
Yeah,
getting the chunk yardage, not 20 yards,
right.
but doing what you need to do to pick up first downs.
Yeah.
And take we had a 14-0 lead going to halftime.
We pushed vertical, and I really like to see that. It didn't. We just had a couple of moments of success there, but I like the fact we pushed vertical. We had what was it? A second and short that we tried to throw deep, and that was one of those that he hit the helmet, and that was. Obviously I want a better throw there, but I like the fact that we're trying it. It was the right call. The receiver was open. So I think we're making the right calls in the right positions as far as that goes, still playing to what the opponent's giving you and what you can make happen.
I mean, here's checking out of stuff a lot.
Oh, I haven't noticed.
Checking into stuff, out of stuff,
Right.
It looked like he was really in control of, they send in 2 plays or whatever, he's checking out of,
He's moving guys around.
He's not always looking to the sideline. He's
Right.
literally looking at the defense, checking it, making the call.
Yeah.
People are,
That's true. Yeah.
we've got the motion going so we can see what the defense.
Yeah,
is
or
doing,
sliding protection or
Yeah.
or pointing
It
out
looked like
who
he
the
was-
hot backer is.
which is what we talked about coming into the season when you got the offensive coordinator and quarterback coming together and the quarterback coach, that we expected to see him be ahead of everybody else.
Right.
And there was one throw he made to Burks that he threw behind him, but I think Burks was in the wrong spot, a lot like
Mhm.
the interception was last
Mhm.
week.
Mm-hmm.
That Burks, because
Well, it was
it was a check. It was
zone. It was zone. And I think he was expecting Burks to settle in the zone, and Burks kept
He cut
to
in.
carry it. No, he
Yeah.
kept carrying the
Oh,
the
yeah.
route.
Mm.
So when Mateer threw it, if he had stopped
It'd be
in
there.
his zone, it would have been right there.
Like the interception. last
Yeah,
week.
he just continued through like as a through
So I
route.
love seeing that. And then,
Yeah.
Jay's got Canick winning the Heisman.
Canick played
He
great.
may have to settle for the Mackey.
Yeah.
Right.
Good.
I don't know
I
how
mean,
many, what did he end up
Speedy-
with catches and yardage?
6 catches,
I mean,
70.
That's
that's more than
67
Bauer. If
yards.
you put Bauer Sharp in front of a jug machine for 3 hours, I don't know if he could get 6 catches.
Yeah.
right.
5 for 69, 13.8 yard average.
And that doesn't include what should have been a touchdown
Yeah.
pass to
Great
him
play.
on the trick play.
Yeah,
They
he would
did
have
run a
had
trick play.
6 for almost 100.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That was, what was that, 20-ish, 25-ish on that play?
oh,
On the
at
trick
least,
play?
Yeah.
yeah,
And
So-
he just overthrew him by like 2 feet.
yeah, and a touchdown, obviously.
Yeah.
So, Canick is a weapon. Canick is playing
And that
really
was a
well.
long developing play.
He's
and
blocking well.
It was blocked well.
Yeah. Yeah, it was blocked well, and he's blocking well. Yeah, there was 3 different people that touched the ball after the hike.
I mean, he's definitely tight end 1. There's no question.
No.
about that.
Yeah,
And fullback 1.
yeah,
He's H-back.
he's a playmaker.
How
for
about-
sure.
Did y'all notice when they sent Foj out and we lined up with 2 linemen, a center lineman, and 3 linemen on the right?
I did not.
Y'all
We
didn't
run
know?
in 6th.
We brought in a 6 lineman and they put Canick in the I formation. And then did they hand it off to Barnes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they picked up the first down, but it was like 3rd and 1 or something like
Mhm.
that. And literally, I was like, I see 70 coming across, and I told Nolan, I said, we're gonna have 6 linemen. Hot damn. And then I was like, so he runs out there awful slow, but he runs out there and lines up on the right side. So we got an offset formation out there. And then I look up and I see Canick, and then I see Barnes. I'm like, oh, right formation.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Power
Dude,
football,
I
baby.
was like, this is what Michigan's used to. Let's push it down their throat.
Yeah.
And we barely got it.
But we got it.
It was the first
We
down.
got it.
Yeah.
And it was one of those, and there were many of those where it's clear what we're doing. They know what we're doing. We're advertising what we're doing, and then you just have to execute. That was really the story of the last 2 drives, especially the final drive that ends with the final drive that ends in the field goal to put it away. They knew we were running the football.
Yeah, I mean, that has to be to a football fan that's used to really knowing what's going on. That last drive is the type of drive that
We
gives
dreamed
you
of.
hope for the rest of the season.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
No, but
seriously,
no, but
literally.
really though,
I
like
told Noah, like, if we can burn this clock, because we took it over like 11 or something, right?
Right.
I said, if we can get this down to like 3 and get some points, whether it's a field goal or touchdown,
Mm-hmm.
we're going to end this game. You know,
But
because our
it
defense
was-
was so good that I wasn't worried about them going down the field and scoring.
it was
in 3
it was
minutes.
everybody involved though, because we kept getting the yardage we needed. We also were using the clock to our advantage, which we have complained about for years.
Yes.
Snapping it
And-
inside of it,
yeah.
straight seconds. Yep.
It was beautiful.
It
Like,
was beautiful. We did
it
have
bodes
one.
well for the
One
future
snap
of the
with the
season.
2-minute
We
warning.
we had like I'll give them praise and then criticism. Praise was at the end of the first half.
The 2-minute warning was a half-second difference.
Well,
Yeah.
but before that,
But it's because we
that's
snapped the ball a
that's
little
the
bit
criticism I'm
earlier.
going
We
to
did
give.
a quick snap.
But
right?
first, yes, we did great in the end of the half, executing and getting the timing just right. Only snapping the ball when we're going to get the call right before the 2-minute warning, and everything was very picture perfect about that. At the end of the game, we hiked the ball too soon, which means that on the next play we have to hike it, as it turns out, right before the 2-minute warning, which you don't want to do. Not ideal. All that said, we were in a luxury position. We weren't at our own 30-yard line where that was super critical. We were in a position where we had a lot of control. In fact, if Blaylock high steps after he catches that ball, he probably waltzes into the end zone for
I
a
thought it was good
comfortable
coverage.
touchdown.
There
Oh,
won't-
it was.
He
There
was
won't
following
be-
across.
There won't be
No,
many
it was.
times that Blaylock is going to get caught like that.
Yeah, I was surprised by it. And you're looking at probably an exceptional defensive player out of Michigan who's catching him, running him down and stopping that. But
Did y'all notice a big difference
It was a
when
big
their
gain, it was
linebacker
good.
came back from the suspension?
I didn't.
No, there were a
Me
couple
neither.
more
I was
hits.
looking. Yeah, I was.
There
looking
were a
out there.
couple more bigger hits.
Yeah.
But nothing
There was a
that
little bit more
was
pressure.
game-changing.
I felt like maybe they blitzed him a little, and there was some more pressure for
Like the
Mateer.
things they could do.
Right. Like
Yeah.
maybe they adjusted that in the second half.
Yeah.
But all in all, I mean, we scored 14 in the first
I
half.
thought their
and 10 in the
adjustments were
second
pretty good. Just they weren't going to be enough. Our adjustments were good. And we adjusted to their adjustments, which was nice to see. A lot of praise. I don't know. Just defensively, offensively, special teams has problems, but special teams can work that out. I like how Satania fields the ball. He just needs to learn putting it in your hands is a risky situation, and it's not always going to work out.
Yep.
And when you're up against a team as talented and as disciplined as Michigan, you're going to get burned if you don't catch that ball solidly.
I mean, if he fair catches that,
oh
he
yeah,
catches it.
yeah.
You have two
But
scores
he
there
was
too.
he was worried about catching it and running
Right.
away from the left. So if you watch, he misjudges it a smidge, but then he goes down low because he thinks he's going to catch it and start running, and
I
he
know.
drops it. Where
Oh yeah,
if he just waves it, he maybe takes that extra step forward
right
to catch it in his
secure it.
chest. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it was a moment of getting greedy because I'm watching him and he looks down at the guy coming. He sees that he's got a blocker running with him, but it's not clear that blocker is going to be able to do what he needs to do. And he still chooses to field the ball. In that situation, you've got the lead. That should be where you say risk return. I'm going to fair catch that ball. Very similarly, right after Michigan they score, they get a field goal. We held them to a field goal there, and they kick the ball off, and Jaden Ott decides to field the ball on a kickoff. fair catch that. Don't do
Yeah.
that.
Fair catch it.
And just secure the football, get it
So
down
easy.
to where we are. Yeah, don't take the risk. There's no reason to take that risk.
The thing, though,
hate
So where do we
seeing
start on that drive? On like
the five.
Five, yeah.
The thing is, even if he just misgauged it, because even if he calls for a fair catch, it bounces off of him and into the ground.
And then he has to keep playing.
So I mean,
Yeah.
it would have been the same outcome. Ultimately, it was
It
just
might, no, I don't think it is necessarily, because I think if he's fair catching it, just like Satania,
Yeah.
I think he's getting under the ball to secure it versus in a position to run. I think he puts his body in a different way, is my thinking.
For
Maybe
sure,
not.
fun. I could see the odd doing that too.
So I just would like him to play safe when we've got the lead. There's no reason to take that chance. It was obvious that Michigan was going to run him out when the ball wasn't kicked deep on the kickoff. So they're going to run it out because they're behind. They need to try to make something happen. And they did slip a tackle or two, and yet the coverage was solid, the lanes were complete, and they were able to stop those guys every time after the first contact and not let them. I mean, I guess on one kickoff he got to about the 27-yard line or something. Another one we stopped him at the 15. So really good kickoff coverage for sure. Just disciplined football. That was amazing to see. That was just relieving to see that type of stuff.
Switching gears,
Phenomenal.
what did y'all think about the atmosphere? Jay,
Okay.
that you're watching on TV, how did we sound?
it sounded loud on TV.
It did?
Yeah.
What did you guys? I didn't feel like it wasn't Texas Tech.
No,
It wasn't anywhere near.
they wanted
Of course,
to.
that was a
They
blowout.
wanted to recreate Texas Tech, which
Yeah.
was
They
stupid.
did
Was
jump
it-
around.
Was it Bama of last year?
Well, okay. So
No.
what do you mean by that? Because
Different, though.
so we
It felt a little subdued. Even
Oh.
like I've still got my voice, and I can remember games that
yeah
had no voice left.
I
It just
I-
felt honestly it's sad. It
well
felt
I
like Michigan was so
consciously
inept.
kept my voice in moments. I cheered pretty loud on defense, but I tried to keep my voice in the pregame and everything. And I've been known to lose my voice in pregame, and I thought I'm saving it for the pod, and I didn't yell at those moments as loud. I thought it was pretty loud. My complete takeaway on that was the volume was better. It still was annoying at moments. I had to cover my ear at a time or two. I was able to carry on more conversations. I thought the music was still doing the same rinky-dink crap that it does, where they play the music right up until they snap or they spot the ball and really come out to be in position. A little bit better than what we saw last week. Not what I would like to see no music. I don't need the music. I think that we could cheer. I felt like the crowd was really loud at critical times, but later in the game, it was sort of, I don't know if we got sort of PTSD or whatever, but you're getting a little concerned about, are we going to let this one become a ball game?
After the touchdown
Yeah,
start, the
and
second half.
we weren't quite as loud. So I would like to see us more consistently loud as a crowd, but then again, it's hard to be that loud consistently if you've got music supplementing everything you're doing.
They definitely took the advice everybody was given and turned it down.
Yeah,
I would
that
say
was
last week was 11. This week was like 8.5. It could still go down to a 7 in my opinion. But and like Steve said, when you're forcing loud music on 2nd and 10 and 3rd and 6 or whatever, you're not letting the crowd do their job because
right.
they're a little bit overwhelmed by the music going
Yep.
on and doesn't feel like you're going to make a difference with
Yep.
your voice. So maybe you're not cheering as much. And I mean, I did it at critical moments, but there's been some games in the past that literally wouldn't have a voice coming back
Right.
over here,
Which
so
you kind of want in a game like this. You
Yeah.
want to have done that.
yeah, I mean, and
Yeah.
and it wasn't like we were blowing them out.
No.
So you didn't get
No, you needed to
you didn't
do
get the
it.
super offensive excitement
And no
of
relief.
huge plays to
Right.
scream your lungs out then.
That's true.
But you had successful drives, and then on defense, I mean, we gave them. They finished with 13 points. We gave them 6 of those.
Yeah.
Yep.
Literally, the only thing that they did on their own was a 75-yard
Yeah.
touchdown because
In one play.
probably because one missed
One busted
assignment.
play.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
So that makes our defense look even better because the one turnover gave them the field goal, and the other one was kind of aided by some other stuff.
Right.
And it feels like, I mean, I was into the game the whole time, but for some reason, I just didn't scream like I normally do.
I felt
Maybe it's getting old.
I don't know. It was no, it was you are getting old. You're very old. But it was a different atmosphere because I think what it was, to be honest, was we knew we were a better team. And I liken it to a Texas level game. And I know what it feels like in a Texas game. And I know what it feels like when I feel like we need everything we got to win this game versus we're the better team. Damn it. I want to see us win. And this is a little bit frustrating. There was that frustration of put them away and let's be done with this thing. And we didn't quite get there. So I think for me, at least, and maybe a lot of fans are like this, they had this feeling of this should be done. And if it wasn't for a couple of silly mistakes and some other stuff, we would be just finished with this ball game and be party town.
You know what else it could be? It could be we finally got another blue blood at home, and maybe we were just respectful.
That
As
could be.
opposed to when we're playing
That could
a
be.
Texas Tech, Iowa State, Oklahoma State,
right,
we
where we're
don't
kind
respect.
of rubbing it in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That we're more forceful with our
Yeah.
anger, if you want to call it that,
Right.
as opposed to, you know,
I like that.
when Nebraska comes and Michigan comes, we respect those fan bases,
Right.
whereas, like I said, we don't respect, you know, TCU and Baylor and stuff like that.
Right.
Maybe that held me back a little bit to not be as crazy
That's probably true.
because I respect Michigan.
And you respect the fact that they can come back and do some things and it's not, I don't know, it's just different when you feel like you guys are done, you need to go home
Yeah.
versus we have to make you go home
Right.
with it when it's a Michigan. I did feel like the jump around was premature. I thought it was almost like if you're superstitious, it's like, guys, this is too soon.
They immediately
You're-
scored a touchdown after
Don't
we did it.
do it. Yes, exactly.
That was coming
do
into the
this.
second half and little
Don't
first play.
do this. And so then we did another little jump around moment. The other thing that was a little bit underwhelming, well, I'll give you a couple things that are underwhelming, and this is getting nitpicky, but I think it all matters. The flyover is weak. The flyover is a trainer, and it is a jet aircraft at least, but it's a trainer. It's like, I'm smart enough to know what that is, and that's not a real get me
Fighter.
out of my
Yeah,
seat.
that was
Like,
very
yeah,
disappointing.
you're not winning a war with that plane. I don't know if it
I'd
actually
rather have
can
the
achieve
Chinook
harm.
fly over with the guys
The
hanging out the back,
T-38,
you know?
Yes, exactly.
That was that
So
was bad.
and that's just a microcosm of different things. I thought the third to fourth quarter exchange was very boring. I thought it was the wrong song. It was a song that is just mentions the word Oklahoma. And let's not get excited about the fact that the word Oklahoma is in a song. It didn't get us out of our seats. It's not like I'm looking around going like no one's like enthused.
The phone flashing
one's like,
light
"Let's
thing was
go."
okay.
It was just okay.
Special.
Yeah, it just to me it needs to be music that really gets you going and gets you thinking like let's make this happen. Their timing wasn't perfect on the Barry Switzer stuff on the throne. I love the
No.
Barry Switzer on the throne, but their timing wasn't good. And it came one moment came, it almost was a penalty. We started that way too late.
Yeah.
And they're ready, they're lined up, ready to go. And I'm looking down at the clock manager from the for the TV, and he's at 0. And I'm thinking, we're still Barry Switzer's still talking. This is a problem. And so that was not perfectly executed for sure. I like the theme. I like what they were doing with that. I thought the pregame video was really good. I thought that the
scene setter.
the scene setter, and
The
then
setter was
into
good.
the introduction with this is Oklahoma football.
And we gave Michigan a ton of respect.
Yeah, we did. I love that. Just like
I did too.
when Ohio State came,
Yep.
and just when we played
We're
Nebraska.
showing
after
our
so long.
highlights and we're showing Michigan,
Yes.
you know, old highlights. And it was very respectful.
Whoever's doing that, Toby Rowland, whoever that crew is, they're doing a great job
Supervision.
of putting it all together in a way that is appropriate. So when it is little brother Oklahoma State, or when it's just somebody that's not a blue blood, they emphasize Oklahoma and they basically say we're going to beat you and we're better than you. And when they have a team like Michigan come to town, it's respectful. It's saying this, this we understand what this is, and we understand you're at our historically you're at our level.
Yeah.
And you've got something that we can respect, and I really like that too. I think that's really classy. You don't see that out of other programs, and I think I really applaud that for sure.
I think moving forward on the season, we're gonna play more complete teams, with better wideouts and maybe quarterbacks that won't get as rattled. I'm not so sure though that we're gonna play a better defensive team,
Right.
to be honest with you.
That's a good point. I don't know if we will. When you look at the schedule and you see what some of these teams are putting together, I don't know if, other than the fact that they are going to be more seasoned, I don't know if we will. Complete package wise, I don't know if we will.
I mean,
That's a great
you've
point.
got to think we're basically good for 24 plus points a game, I would think,
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
moving forward.
Can we hold the rest of the teams, and I think our defense can, to less than whatever that is? If it's 24, can we hold them to 17?
No.
If it's 31, if it's 35, if it's 42, keep that margin. And I think we can. Well, let's look ahead and let's talk about that. So we got Auburn. Before that, we have Temple. Temple is it's a get right game in the sense of not that we need to get right, but we need to polish. We need to do what it takes to get the starters off the field, give us some rest, get some other guys some experience, work on some things that you know you need work on. They're going to be punting the ball a lot, you would assume. So let's be real crisp in the punt return game. Let's just understand and be real disciplined in the kickoff game, because hopefully we're kicking the ball off the Temple a whole lot. And so we're just really doing everything you can to not let anybody get us out of lanes and do something silly. Just do what it takes to put the game away early, get a really big, I don't know what, the spread's going to be huge. And then we got Auburn coming up. So Auburn's going to be another big game. I don't think it'll be as big as this one. We may need to understand that it's as big, though. We don't want it to be a sleeper. We don't want it to be a sneak up and get you game. There's a chance game day's there. I was looking at who else is playing that day and that evening, and there's nobody. We might be the game of the week, and we might have game day. So if Auburn can do what they're supposed to do, and we got two undefeated teams in Norman on that Saturday, that may be another game day 2 weeks later. That's pretty awesome. If not, it's still a chance to have a really showcase game that if you win that, then you're going to beat Kent State and you're going to beat the bye week. So you're going to be undefeated going into Texas if you take care of business.
Surely that gets flexed
Just be
in that game.
crazy.
Because right now it's showing the 2:30 or
It's got to be.
Whatever.
It's got to be.
if we'll go
gotta be
3-0, that's gonna
Right.
be nice.
Gotta be.
Which I don't mind at 2:30, but that's pretty awesome in the night game. If it's the game of the week, that's
Yeah.
just fantastic. And the guy next to me, he was making a lot of good points about all of this, and it's obvious, but it still deserves to be said. When you have game day, they devote extra time to your game. You're getting so much more focus and exposure. It's good for recruits. It's good for the momentum. It's good for business. Campus Corner is happening right now. It has been tremendous down here this weekend. It's just good for the economy of the Oklahoma Sooners. So the more you can get this going in the right direction, it just incrementally adds to everything you can do. And we need all the help we can get to get those incremental improvements so we can get that recruit that we want to get, not just that we can get the money right, but also that we can get the recognition so that they respect that this is a place I need to have the top of my list as a place to come, as a destination to showcase my talents. You can go and tell them, hey, we were on game day this many times. We were the game of the week this many times. You're going to get a lot of exposure.
And
That's huge.
For those listeners that don't maybe pay attention to recruiting or pay close attention to it, we had 75 plus recruits for this game. I have never
Phenomenal.
heard of a number
Phenomenal.
that big ever.
Ever. Anywhere.
And we usually don't like to host that many people because, we'll bring
There's
in
no attention,
10
right?
or 12 because they like to give them special attention with the coaches and stuff like that. But when you do have a national ranked matchup against against another
Yeah.
blue blood, this is the perfect game that if you're confident that you're going to win the game, that you do invite a bunch of guys.
I hope they were able to see how cool the North End Zone was, to look at the game day experience.
North End Zone's always cool.
And I'm sorry, North End Zone, the North Oval. Yeah, I hope they visited
I'm
you in the
always-
North End
Zone's
Zone.
awesome. Everybody knows that.
Yeah,
All of our listeners
Yeah.
know for sure that
Oh,
it's the best.
absolutely.
It's the best view you can get in
Obviously.
that stadium.
Right. So the North Oval, all the tailgating that they can just experience and see the atmosphere because you got kids who don't know. You've got kids who they can hear about history, but let's be honest, the history of the early days of Michigan and Oklahoma football don't mean anything to an 18-year-old kid, nor should
And I think I'll credit the question for this, but it was possibly 22 different states. Players from 22 states
Wow.
were visiting.
Wow.
So it wasn't 75 Oklahoma,
Oklahoma,
Texas,
Texas.
Arkansas players. It was national.
And it's not like we have the easiest place to get to. I mean,
Yeah.
Right.
The flights in and out of Oklahoma City Airport where Rogers are not the greatest.
No,
I mean,
you-
it was
You
literally
can't fly direct to anywhere.
it was literally
Yeah.
Pacific Northwest all the way to the Northeast Florida. I mean, it was a four corner type recruiting evening.
And thank the weather gods. I mean, what a beautiful Chamber of Commerce day.
None of those kids showed up and like, God, it's 100 degrees in September.
Yes,
Or
exactly.
it's rainy and windy. No,
Right.
it was
So
absolutely.
If I were doing negative recruiting, I would have been pulling up the weather app and saying, "Well, where else are you interested in going?" Well, man, it was pretty hot there today.
Yeah.
Man, it was pretty rainy there today.
I had a
It's
2-hour weather delay over in
Ugh,
Carolina.
That's pretty ugly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Oh, it was so gorgeous today.
Yep.
We got totally lucky on that. Or it was perfect planning. Just so many things fell into line. Hopefully we get the edge on some recruiting for sure there. Just real exciting. This is the kind of thing that I'm sure they're on the phones working them. This is momentum. I'm talking to every one of those recruits, every one of those guys, and just saying, I hope you had a great experience. I hope this was wonderful. If they weren't and they didn't, let's plan an official visit. Let's come see us. There's more to come. This is just the first. This is just the second game and the first of many big matchups to come this season. And we're building something special. This was a turning point. This was a huge turning point. We knew it was the biggest game in Norman in a decade plus, and it lived up to billing, and we made it happen for sure. Any other thoughts on that? Anything else about looking forward? What do you guys think?
I'm excited. I mean, like,
You don't seem it.
I am. No, I mean, it's a
I think you're tired.
It's a great day. So tired.
You left it all on the field, baby.
Left a lot on the field. No, I mean, like, today was a great like litmus test for everything. So my voice is crackly.
That's good.
Super excited. Boomer, sir?
I mean, from watching it's only been 2 weeks, and teams will definitely change and improve, but there's nobody on our schedule
Mm-mm.
that we can't beat. Nobody.
And what's awesome about the schedule, I'll shout out to the guy next to me again. He made a great point. He was saying, how great is this that the schedule is still going to look as good as it is on paper, and yet it's looking so much better. Texas doesn't look as good as they were billed. Alabama doesn't look as good as billed. Tennessee is maybe as
We
good.
don't know.
South Carolina.
I think Tennessee for me is a harder game than I thought it was going to be. I thought what they lost and bringing in a new quarterback,
That's fair.
it
That's
would be
fair.
a little bit easier to go in.
LSU is not looking as hot. I
Correct.
mean,
Ole Miss might be looking a little bit better also than I thought.
maybe. I mean,
but we've got
if
them
you
at
give a
home.
They
lot of
didn't cover
credit to
against Kentucky.
Kentucky.
Kentucky's not good though.
Yeah,
But we've got them at home too.
we do have them at home.
And they had
Yeah.
Kentucky at Kentucky. So
So I don't know. You look at all of these games lining up. it's
Missouri
gonna-
put Kansas away late.
late. It was really
Um,
late. It's still going to look like a really good and is a
South
really tough
Carolina.
schedule.
Took them entire half to put.
And South Carolina State,
Yeah,
that's not good.
no.
That was
So
their bedlam. What do you mean?
yeah, let's give them a lot of credit for that.
How did Oklahoma State do today?
That's interesting.
I think I
So
locked that one.
who's Oklahoma State?
I locked it too, and
Oh,
I
on their side.
I did, and we'll talk about that in the midweek. But
That was over.
just a little preview of that one. It was
5 minutes in the
I
second
was
quarter?
no, yeah, they're about.
Yeah.
No, I think I was still up. I don't know what
I don't
happened.
think so.
I was I would.
I think I was covered about 5 to 7 minutes into the second
Well,
quarter.
then it would be the next score that would give me.
There's not a whole lot better of a day for OU to beat a blue blood in Michigan with
Yep.
the eyes of the college football world on it and Oklahoma State gets 69.
And
And Oregon plays Boomer Sooner while they're getting beat.
Yeah.
Florida
That's good.
lost. A bunch of teams
Florida lost.
looked okay or mid.
The only thing
I mean,
the only thing I
That
don't
was
like,
one of my locks. Can we get, so we're gonna get credit for locks. South Florida, they don't, they didn't
Yeah.
just cover. They won the
you were
football
getting
game.
17 and a half.
They
and
won the
won.
football game, baby.
That was at the swamp too.
Yeah.
my only deal with Florida
Yes, it was.
is they're not on our schedule.
Right.
And I was hoping that was going to be an extremely difficult game for Texas to go into
Watch out.
before they play.
Early
They
prediction.
got to go there.
It might be. It
Seriously.
might be.
No, but I do think it'll still be hard. But
Yeah.
I was expecting much more out of Florida, and that
Right.
would be a really, really difficult game.
Florida, with all their injuries, you don't know what you're going to get with Florida. And to be honest, this was a trap game for them against South Florida. So I don't know. I still hold out hope.
Because at
That
Florida
they can get-
is
Texas hell.
that's Texas game right before ours. I don't think they have a bye or anyone between
No,
them.
that's it.
What are we gonna? Let's finish on this. What is our ranking
Oh, good.
in the AP
12.
going into next week?
That's why I say
12.
12.
A lot of teams lost.
What were we going today?
18.
18? And Michigan was
15.
15?
We'll be 12.
I can see 12.
Yeah.
Because
There
we
were-
look better than teams that were
12 is fair. Yeah, 12 is
They just don't ever
probably.
jump you that high.
I don't know. This
There
was
was
a
two or
big
three
game.
teams. There were 2 or 3 teams ranked ahead of us that lost or didn't look very good today.
ASU will drop out.
Yeah, Florida will
Florida.
be behind
The
us.
only thing I will say
Michigan.
with the voters who don't watch a lot of games, they watch this game. And this is not 18 versus 15, and 15 is Virginia Tech
Right.
or Kansas State. This was Michigan. It's going to carry some weight.
And this was not Lincoln Riley scoring 45-20 against
Right.
a decent team.
Right.
This was both sides of the ball.
Yes.
You know, we moved it on offense fairly well, and our defense was lights out.
Yeah.
If you watch we gave
Right.
up 13 points, but
Right.
if you watch it, it was a single play and then a turnover that's 10 other points right there.
Right.
So if you're a national person that sat down thinking, oh, OU's in the Big 12, they just score a bunch of points and don't play defense.
Right.
This has got to completely change your perception.
Yeah.
Even
The
those-
narrative has to go.
right. It's got to be gone now. This is a defensive team.
Yes.
I mean,
that
nationally,
has a
on,
pretty good offense.
nationally on Twitter, those people, as much as we all like to talk about Mateer and what he did and scoring, they were all talking about this is a defense that can take your team places.
Right.
Yeah.
This is
So I think that I don't know where we are, have not analyzed who lost above us. I would imagine we're obviously going to jump anybody who lost, and we're going to jump people that were marginal. So wherever we end up, 12 is probably a fair number. But if it's 10, it's because it was OU versus Michigan, and everybody was watching this game.
Yeah.
So we're going to be pressing for that. And obviously, just by the sheer numbers of wins, losses, if we win against Temple, and we're going to win against Temple, and going into Auburn, that could be a top 10 matchup if they win, right? Or what's Auburn?
Top 15, probably.
So yeah, 10, 15.
Yeah.
And so you're
They're
I mean,
unranked.
you're
And they're
looking
playing
at,
nobody. They're playing like South Alabama next week. So
yeah.
But they'll be 3-0.
yeah, I mean they could be 22 and we're
Oh, they're okay.
10
Yeah.
or 11.
They're not as high as I thought. I thought
I
they
mean it
were.
could be a top 25 matchup.
So
It will be.
a 10
And-
versus somebody.
And with the
I think Auburn was like
story of
22,
Jack
then
Yeah.
coming back to normal will be huge.
Right. That's a huge story, but I'm getting at kind of the trajectory of this whole thing.
Yeah.
So you go into Texas, guys, I mean, there's a good chance we're in front of Texas, or it's a top 10 matchup for sure. It's just
Could
big,
definitely be a 7 versus 8.
big
Like
matchup
Texas.
after big matchup going on where we're not an accident team. We're not like in 2021.
And fortunately
We're
or
9-0
unfortunately,
and we aren't that good.
literally the entire rest of the season is another ranked opponent.
Yeah.
From Texas
after Texas on. Yeah.
Except Mizzou.
So that's exciting.
that could be.
That's
I mean,
true.
who knows?
Missouri
I mean they
fall.
could be.
I mean, they just
Yeah.
beat Kansas.
Yeah,
Probably. Yeah.
I think
that's
they'll be.
possible.
Yeah. So that's exciting. It's a lot. I mean, this is a turn the tables game. Everything's in front of us now. If we were to go around the table and revise our picks, I think we got to revise them up. We've gotten through a game that we said it's a chance that you can win, you can lose. We won this game. We won this game decisively. This is really big for this program. This is awesome. I'm excited. We're going to have a bunch to talk about on the midweek pod. Shout out to Tobacco Exchange again for being the title sponsor. They do a great job. Really appreciate all their support. And I don't know, guys. I'm really pumped.
I'm pumped.
I was drinking Kool-Aid before. What is it when you're drinking truth serum? Because this is truth, baby.
Ask
We're
him
winning.
Jones.
I'm not gonna go there.
It's just a lot of bourbon.
Well, regardless of all of that, I think we're pretty damn good, and I'm looking forward to the next one. Boomer,
Sooner.